Hello, Beatles. It's Miss Victoria. I hope you're doing well, and I share all my light with you. Ready? Did you feel it? Good. So I've got a book for you today because we're learning about the ocean and the sea this week. So I've read you this book before once, but I wanted to read it to you again. Not quite Narwhal. So a narwhal is an animal that lives in the sea that kind of looks like this, but what does this also look like? A unicorn. So let's see. I know some of you have this book at home, so if you've got this book at home, you can pause the video and you can go grab your book and read along with me, okay? It's by Jessie, Sima. That's the author. Okay. Oh, there she is. Anybody know what this guy is? That's a clam. Kelp was born deep in the ocean. She was born inside of a clam. Usually on the inside of a clam you would find pearls. So we're going to do a project where you can either make your little kelp unicorn, or you can make a little pearl and put it inside of a clam. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see when you do it. He knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. So these are the real narwhals, right? These are real animals that live in the ocean, and they look kind of like unicorns because of their horns. He had different tastes in food. So this guy's eating squid. He's like, ugh. He wasn't a very good swimmer. He's got to wear his little floaties. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided that he would not mind either. That is, until he was swept away by a strong current. I wish I were a better swimmer. So a current in the ocean looks like this, and it's like a tunnel that pulls whatever gets into it. Happened in Finding Nemo too with the turtles. I don't know if you guys remember that. Kelp found himself at the surface, closer to land than he had ever been before. Who's that, you think? High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like kelp. Kelp swam toward land as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that he could catch up with the creature that looked just like him. When he finally reached the shore, Kelp felt a bit anxious. He had never left the ocean. He was nervous about walking for the first time, but the land creatures made it look so easy. It wasn't. He's like, oh, oof. And the crab's walking sideways. Now he's trying to walk like who? He's trying to leap like a frog. Eee, ow. Eventually, he got the hang of it. So he's following the turtle. The turtle moves nice and slow. So one foot in front of the other, and he's doing it. Everything on land was strange and beautiful, but it was also kind of scary. Kelp began to think he might never find the creature that looked just like him. But as he stumbled out of the forest, land narwhals! They're leaping and galloping and showering in the rainbow, playing the guitar with butterflies, leaping over the river. Actually, we're unicorns. And it looks like, and by the looks of it, so are you. Kelp had never heard of unicorns before. They taught him all sorts of new things about his tusk. We call them horns. Wow. Look, he's making a rainbow. They introduced him to unicorn delicacies. Unicone. And they showed him how to gallop. There was no doubt that Kelp was, in fact, a unicorn. He was having so much fun that he didn't want to leave. But then he remembered all of his friends under the sea. Kelp missed them terribly. He said goodbye to the unicorns and returned to the ocean. "Come back soon," they said. Kelp swam towards home as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that the narwhals would still like him now that he was a unicorn. When he finally arrived, Kelp had butterflies in his stomach. "Welcome home, Kelp!" They looked very happy to see him. Kelp took a few deep breaths and told his friends the news. "It turns out I'm not a narwhal." "Of course you aren't. I'm a unicorn. We all knew that." They took it quite well. So they love him unconditionally. No matter what he is, they love him anyway. Kelp was so happy to be home, but now that he had experienced life on land with the unicorns, he couldn't seem to forget about them. So he's thinking about them. Did he want to be a land narwhal with the unicorns, or a sea unicorn with the narwhals? Kelp couldn't decide. But then he realized that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to choose. So he's united all of the land unicorns and the sea narwhals. And they're all living in this awesome world. How cool is that? And then the rhinoceros is saying, "I'm a unicorn." And Kelp is like, The end. So, if you go swimming in the ocean, deep, deep, deep in the ocean in certain parts of the world, you might see narwhals. Okay? And we're going to do an awesome, beautiful, cool project where you make a little clam shell, because on the inside of a clam, you usually find pearls. So that's where we get our pearls and jewelry from, is from the inside of clams. People also can eat clams. And, but in this case, this little pearl was born, little kelp. So you can be creative. You can make a little kelp, or you can make some pearls in your clam. And you can think about something that you might be grateful for in the ocean. Maybe you could also, when you're making your pearls, you could write something that you're grateful for, because it's like a treasure, right? Just like this treasure chest. When you open a clam shell, it's like a treasure is a pearl inside. So what is your treasure? What's a treasure that you would like to find in the sea, or what's a treasure that you can find in your own home? Do you have any treasures of your own? Let me know. Bye-bye.